Hey, Hockey fans, how's everybody doing? I hope everyone's having a great Monday. Better than Washington. I'm not sure if Washington looked as terrible as I think they did, or if Boston is just railroading everyone. And yeah, it was insane. Washington did not come through. The only bet that we hit was the LA Kings, and that recouped $3.80. We bet 14. We recouped $3.80. So the end result, minus $10.20, drops our total to $97.99. Washington did not hit, meaning the parlay didn't hit, and obviously we were not under 5.5 in that game. So that's Monday. Some Mondays are like that. Now we move on to Tuesday, January 11, 2022. There were 9 games scheduled. One was postponed. By the time I was done doing the research, another one had been postponed. So we got the Islanders and Calgary postponed, and now also Carolina and Philly has been postponed. So we have 7 games being played. First game, we have an Atlantic Division matchup. We have Tampa playing Buffalo. Buffalo 2-5-3 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen listed to be a net for the Sabres. Tampa has Brian Elliott listed. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. Current 1-game losing streak. Buffalo, they had the weekend off with one of their games being postponed. Their last action was on Thursday when they played the San Jose Sharks. And if they would have played that entire game the way they played the third period, I think they would have won that game. But they fell 3-0 early in the game with a slow start, and they just couldn't recoup. Hell of an effort. I mean, they outshot them 39-21. And 22-5 in the third period for the Sabres over the Sharks in shots. So they were definitely trying, and they were able to get a couple in the net, but just not enough. They're excited about Jack Quinn making his NHL debut, and they're going to need him coming into this game against Tampa, who sits with 51 points in the division, right with Florida in first place. Saturday, when the Bolts suffered a 5-2 loss, that was their last action. Tampa did not get on the scoreboard until the third period, when it was already 4-0 for Boston. The Bolts also having a game postponed. This was supposed to be a 2-game road trip. Now, obviously, a 1-game road trip. Andre Palat playing well with 4 goals in his last 3 games. Teams met October 25th when Buffalo won. Brian Elliott made his Bolts debut that game. Buffalo won that game 5-1. This is the second of a 3-game series. Sabres have lost 5 in a row. 4 of those losses were 1-goal games, and 2 of them required extra time. So they're not getting blown out, but they're missing some key elements, right? I mean, Tage Thompson, their top producer, is out. Alex Stuck, Kyle Poza, they're all out. And the Sabres, I just can't see them beating this Tampa team. Kucherov's 3rd game back now. He was kept off the points board that last game, but I look to him to find the back of the net. You got to take the favorite here. Money line minus 250 or 1.4 for Tampa, plus 210 or 3.1 for Buffalo, over under set at 6. You got to take the visiting favorite, Tampa, to win this game and get some revenge on Buffalo. Tampa is my first pick. Second one, we've got Vancouver against Florida. Florida is 6-3-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Sergei Bobrovsky listed to be a net for the Panthers. Vancouver has Thatcher Demko listed to be between the pipes. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Florida had an exciting game against Carolina on Saturday. That went into extra time after being tied by Seth Jarvis for Carolina in the 3rd, and then Anthony Duclair for the Panthers with the winner in overtime. Great victory for this Florida team that is getting healthier and more dangerous. The best home record, 18-3-0 in the division. Panthers in 2nd when it comes to goals for. No problem finding the back of the net. Playing Vancouver. Vancouver, another team with only 1 game so far this calendar year, and that was on New Year's Day when they played the Seattle Kraken, and they won that game 5-2. Interviews and the media talk about a test that Vancouver has here with this road trip, and yeah, I mean, you can't look at it any other way. They're playing Florida, then Tampa, then Carolina, then Washington, finishing off with Nashville. And the Carolina-Washington, that's back-to-back hockey. So a definite test for the new coach and this team that seems to be rolling no problem right now. Demko, he's going to be looking for his 8th consecutive win in this game, playing great hockey in between the pipes. This is a first game between these teams, both games to be played in January. Vancouver, they've made some monster steps in the division in respect to climbing and points. And if they can have some success on this road trip, who knows where they're going to end up. Money line, plus 175 for Vancouver or 2.75. Minus 210 or 1.47 for Florida. Over under set at 6. I know the public money is going to be all over Florida, and I like Vancouver here. I like them, and Demko and net, I'm picking Vancouver. Visiting dog. First visiting favorite, now visiting dog. That's my pick, Vancouver to beat Florida. Third game postponed. That was that Carolina-Philly game. So even though I did a bunch of research, no need talking about it. Next game, number 4, Chicago against Columbus. Columbus is 3-6-1 in their last 10, current 1-game winning streak. Korpisalo listed to be in net for the Blue Jackets. Chicago, once again, with Marc-Andre Fleury in net. They're 3-4-3 with a current 1-game winning streak. The Blue Jackets, they just finished a pair of games against New Jersey. Thursday, a 3-1 loss to the Devils, and Saturday, a 4-3 W for Columbus. Oliver Bjorkstrand with a strong game opening the scoring with a power play goal in the first, and his second puck in the net ended up being in the third, which was the winning goal. So they split that with the Devils. It was pretty, they edged the Devils on shots. It was 34-30 for Columbus. They were 1 for 3 with the man advantage while shutting down the Devils' power play chances. Korpisalo played a great game and named a star in the game. Big win for Columbus, who's had a tough time finding W's, but they looked pretty good in that game. And then playing Chicago. Chicago coming off a monster win Saturday when they played Vegas, a 2-1 victory for the Hawks. Fleury, obviously, it was a first win for them this calendar year, and a special win for Fleury facing his former team. Clean hockey game with only 1 power play chance in the entire game. The Hawks played a physical game. You could tell they wanted to win this game for Fleury. They out-hit the Knights 35-16. Chicago had lost 6 straight before this win. And at the same time, you had Leonard facing his former team. So it was a cool game. A lot of people were looking forward to it, and it was a good hockey game. First meeting between these two. They did have a prior game that was postponed, so they're going to have to make that one up. Both teams missing some pieces. Fairly even, I think, as far as health goes. You watch the interview with Marc-Andre Fleury, and you want to pick the Hawks, and that's strictly emotional. No logic involved there at all. And money line minus 110 for Chicago or 1.9. Over under set at 5.5. Columbus minus 110 or 1.9. Vegas has it as a coin toss game. I'm taking the home team, Columbus, to win the game. That's my pick. Columbus to beat Chicago. Number 5, Colorado against Nashville. Central Division matchup here. Saros in net for Nashville. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. Current 4-game winning streak. Colorado has Darcy Kemper listed. They're 9-1-0 with a current 5-game winning streak. Nashville, they sit first in the division with 48 points. Last played Arizona Saturday when they handed the Coyotes a 4-2 loss. Preds have won all 4 games played this calendar year. There have been some pieces that have helped them with this success and climb to the top of the division, and Saros is obviously a big factor. He has won 9 of his last 10 starts and is tied in shutouts in the league, currently logging 5 so far this season. And then you got Colorado. Colorado on a back-to-back after another comeback win Monday against the Seattle Kraken. Nazem Kadri with a tiebreaker and winner late in the third period. The Avalanche keep finding ways to get that W, and now third in the Central with 46 points, only 2 behind Nashville, who's number 1. Another series made up of 4 games. So far, 2 played, a game apiece. November 27th, it was 6-2 for Colorado, and then December 16th, a 5-2 victory for Nashville. The one piece for the Preds, Forsberg, missing him in the lineup is going to hurt them big time. And at the same time, Colorado's missing a couple pieces too. Money line minus 155 or 1.64, over under set at 6. Nashville plus 135 or 2.35. I'm going to go to Saros to have another incredible game and keep Nashville out of the win column if that's possible. We'll find that out tomorrow. I'm taking the home dog, Nashville, to win the game. That's my pick. Next one, we've got Toronto against Vegas. Vegas is 6-3-1 in their last 10. Current one-game losing streak. Robin Leonard listed to be in net for the Knights again. Toronto has Jack Campbell listed to be in net. They're 6-2-2, and their streak is an overtime decision. Vegas, first place in the Pacific, last place Saturday when they lost 2-1 to Chicago Blackhawks and their former goalie. Leonard was in net and playing his former team, as I already mentioned. Chicago, a game, as I mentioned, that many were looking forward to. It was an entertaining game, and it was a loss for Vegas. Vegas is not the strong home team that we've all feared them to be in the years past, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. Toronto coming off an overtime loss to Colorado after having a 4-1 lead. The Avalanche unloaded on Jack Campbell, 49 shots to Toronto's 27. Leafs were 1-for-1, went up a man and held Colorado off on their 4 opportunities that they had. The Leafs aren't going to feel good about that game. I mean, they should have closed that game down and they should have got 2 points. They shouldn't have let Colorado back in the way that they did. But it's another series that is over after this game. Toronto has a 1-0 lead in the series, winning 4-0 against the Knights November 2nd. It was the same goalie matchup back on November 2nd, Leonard against Campbell. Toronto missing a couple bodies, yet I think healthier than Vegas if we look at that as something that we're looking at now because it's just a factor. Money line minus 110, 1.9 for Toronto. Same with Vegas, minus 110 or 1.9. Over under set at 6, minus 105 or 1.95 on the over, which I'm looking at. I also like Toronto, another coin flip game, but I like the Leafs to win this game over Vegas. That's my pick. I'm taking the Toronto Maple Leafs to win, and I'm also going to take that over 6. Next game, we got Pittsburgh against Anaheim. Anaheim 4-4-2 in their last 10, current one-game winning streak. Anthony Stolar is listed to be in net against Pittsburgh, who has Tristan Jarry listed to be between the pipes. They're 9-1-0 in their last 10 with a current one-game losing streak. Anaheim maintaining second place in the Pacific with 45 points, only 2 points behind the number 1 Vegas team. Last game, a 4-3 shootout victory over Detroit. That was on Sunday. The Ducks had their 21-year-old goalie make his NHL debut, Lucas Dostal, and also he stopped 33 of 36 shots, which was a great way to start. They also had another player, Braden Tracy, make his debut, who played a good game. Teams adjusting with so many bodies out. That's what they have to do right now. And although Anaheim should get some back ahead of the Pittsburgh game, the Ducks will still be missing some pieces. They're sitting 4th in the power play, 3rd in the penalty kill. Pittsburgh 4th in the Metropolitan. They had their winning streak halted by Dallas on Saturday when the Stars won that game 3-2. Pittsburgh had the lead going into the 3rd period, 2-1, but goals from Joe Pavelski and Ropey Hintz sealed the game for Dallas. Big news with Pittsburgh is that Malkin could make his season debut this game. It's listed as a game time decision, so we'll have to wait and see, but there's a good chance he could be in this game. Thursday this game is actually going to end the series between these teams. Penguins took the first game. It was about a month ago, December 11th, and they won that game 1-0. I expect a good game between these two. They play each other well. Money line minus 145 for Pittsburgh or 1.68. Over under set at 5.5. Anaheim plus 125 or 2.25. Again, I'm going to go the home dog here. I like Anaheim in this spot. I think Pittsburgh might lose 1 or 2 more before getting back in the win column. That's my pick, Anaheim to win the game. Next one, number 8, last one, Detroit against San Jose. San Jose is 5-5-0 in their last 10, current 2-game winning streak. Aiden Hill listed to be in net against Detroit. That has Alex Nedeljkovic listed to be in net. They're 3-6-1 with an overtime decision. The Sharks had a game against Philadelphia, which we spoke about earlier, which we didn't speak about earlier because the game was postponed. Hurdle with the lone Shark goal scorer in that game. He got a hat trick. It was kind of an interesting game because there were 5 goals in that game and only 2 goal scorers in the entire game. His strong play helped him being named the 3rd star of the week by the NHL. Aiden Hill with his 2nd strong start and looks like he will get the nod for this game as well. The Sharks come into this game still missing quite a few pieces. Logan Couture, I believe, will still miss this game. Nick Bonino, who would normally, fill in and take up some more time with Couture out of the lineup, he's now placed in COVID protocol. There's a chance, depending on tests, I wouldn't be surprised to see this game possibly get postponed. We'll find out tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be played. Detroit, they last played Sunday, a game against Anaheim Ducks that ended in a 4-3 shootout victory for Anaheim. Good hockey game. Detroit outshot the Ducks 36-27, 1 for 4 on the power play, out-hit the Ducks 28-19. 2 of the Red Wings potentially lost, though, which it could hurt them. Bertuzzi and Larkin. Larkin with an upper body, and then Bertuzzi had his wrist cut by Seagrass' skate. So both of these guys are listed as game time decisions, and we won't know until tomorrow if they're going to be playing. Pretty sure they will, but we won't know until tomorrow. Teams met only a week ago when Detroit won that game 6-2, and this will be the last time that they meet in the regular season. Good goaltending matchup here, but Detroit definitely healthier than the Sharks. Money line plus 115 or 2.15 for Detroit, minus 135 or 1.74 for the Sharks. Over under set at 5.5. And I like the visiting dog here, Detroit, to win that game. The wagers I'm going to lay, I'm going to do $5 on Columbus as my best bet. I like them that much to beat Chicago in this spot. My parlay, I'm going to go Detroit and Toronto, and I'll do 2, 2, and 2. Then I'm going to do a lone bet on Vancouver, and I'm going to go $3 on Vancouver. And then the Toronto-Vegas game, over 6, I'm going to go $3 there. That's what I'm going to do. Detroit to beat San Jose, Anaheim to beat Pittsburgh, Toronto to beat Vegas, Nashville to beat Colorado, Columbus to beat Chicago, Philadelphia, Carolina postponed, Vancouver to beat Florida, Tampa to beat Buffalo. Hope everyone has a great Tuesday. Quite a bit of hockey on. Enjoy it. Good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching. Talk soon.